All right, breaking news this morning. California Senator Dianne Feinstein passing away at the age of 90. For more, we bring in our guest, James Lankford. Do we have the senator? Senator, can you hear us?
I can, actually. I can hear you perfectly.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, we were planning on talking about something else, but certainly the passing of your colleague, Dianne Feinstein, elected mayor of San Francisco in 1978, joined the U.S. Senate in 1992, and now at the age of 90, after 6 terms, passing away this morning.
She is the longest serving woman in the Senate. It was a trailblazer in many ways. Obviously, we didn't agree on votes. She was someone who was always engaged. The thing about Dianne Feinstein is that she wanted to hear both points of view. Obviously, she had her perspective, but she is of this rare breed that wanted to be able to listen to the other side, engage. Some of her Democrat colleagues became very frustrated at a time because of the way she handled the Judiciary Committee, because she wanted to hear both sides, wanted to be able to engage on issues. So she will be missed here, obviously. She's been in very poor health for a while. We've all seen that for a season. Her husband passed away recently as well, and so this has been a difficult time for the whole Feinstein.
You say that you didn't agree on much, but I mean, I've been looking into a lot of the bills that you guys co-sponsored together. You've done a lot of work together, working in the education field, in the finance sector. You guys co-sponsored the students' right to school choice. You've done work for anti-Semitism, passing bills against that in the Senate. I mean, you guys have done so much work together, and I know you touched on it a little bit, but just the fact that she had such fundamentals in policy of listening to both sides, of being able to work with both sides, I think we can learn a lot from her, especially now.
Yeah, it's one of those issues to be able to say, you find something you agree on, you work on those things. We talk about this a lot. We're very separate on a lot of our politics and a lot of where things go, but as Americans, we probably have 70% of the things that we most of the time agree on. And what Dianne was really good at, and what I try to work on as well, is to say, yeah, we really disagree on one area, but what do we agree on that we can make progress on, and where can we actually move? And school choice, on energy, and there are multiple different areas that we were able to work together on. Anti-Semitism, as you mentioned, but she worked in the area she was passionate about, regardless of whether her party agreed or not on this thing.
Yeah. Well, Senator, obviously, this is a tragic loss for, not only personally, but politically for a lot of people. But she, obviously a strong Democrat, didn't agree with many Republicans, like you said, on many things. But what is the process now? Because California is obviously a far left blue state. What is the process now for her to be replaced, or at least her vote with such a narrow majority in the Senate? And how's that going to affect business?
So this will take a while just in the transition here. We can actually see what happened when Kamala Harris became vice president of the United States. That transition happened just like this in the Senate, though there was obviously more time to think about it. The governor of California will appoint someone to that position, so that will be up to him, be able to appoint someone like he did for Alex Padilla, and then they'll have to then face election on cycle time for Dianne Feinstein in the days ahead. So this would be a person that would come up for election or would be appointed, and then they'll have to determine whether they're going to be a placeholder, and then they'll have a full-on election, or whether that person will be allowed to then also run in the election in the primary next year, and then in the November election if they win the primary. California also has this very open process for elections, that it's what they call a jungle primary.
Right.
So if the person that's seated in that spot and they're running, they're going to run against Democrats and Republicans, multiples of those. They'll take the top 2 in the primary, regardless of party, and then they go in November.
Absolutely, and many candidates already running for that seat. Many issues down in D.C. confronting our nation, but for the moment, certainly our thoughts and prayers with you, your colleagues, and obviously the family of the late now Senator Dianne Feinstein. Senator James Lankford, always good to see you, my friend. Now